Today's video is sponsored by Simply Safe. There's no safe like Simply Safe. In my last video, we started transforming my original 1929 kitchen, which is in the lower unit of my duplex, and I want to stay true to the era, however, still make it feel modern in my style, so I went in with a creamy tone on the cabinets and then half that color on the ceiling. I opted for a polished nickel hardware in this space, which looks perfect against the cabinetry. We adjusted the windows with a couple of accents, and then we went in with our biggest impact, which was the new floor tile that arrived, and in today's video, we are making such an impact to the range section wall. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you to see. Hello everybody and welcome to part 3 of this kitchen makeover, and we have accomplished so much. I actually have already started a little bit on part 3 and I'm filming the intro later, so I went ahead and grouted the tile in here. If you did not see in the last video, we laid the new floor tile in the space, which I tried to resemble or kind of replicate a style from 1920s and just kind of give it that classic, almost looks like it could have always been here look in the space. And I'm so happy because so many of you recommended that we do a darker grout in here, and I was scared at first, however, it's grouted and it looks incredible. Something I do want to do before we start in on today's endeavors is actually put my Simply Safe sensors back in this room, because now that the room is all painted, the paint has cured, because today's video sponsor is Simply Safe, and you guys know I absolutely love and adore my Simply Safe. It has kept me and my house and my dog and everything safe for many years. I've had mine for like 5 years now, and I know so many of you guys love it as well. I adore my Simply Safe. It has kept me protected, safe, and just a peace of mind that whenever I leave my house, I'm able to check on everything through my phone and everything is safe. I've been using my Simply Safe home security system for about 4 years now. I actually had one in my previous apartment, and when I moved into my own home, I knew I was going to be setting up a full-on home security system, and Simply Safe was the option that I opted for because it is the easiest, no-brainer solution for setting up home security. It shipped directly to your door, and I was able to set up my entire system in under an hour, and I did this a little over 2 years ago. But a recent addition that I added, which is actually an outdoor camera, because Simply Safe now offers their new Active Guard outdoor protection. Old school systems trigger once somebody's broken in, giving them time to still grab stuff. With Simply Safe's Active Guard protection, monitoring agents actually react in real time to suspicious individuals approaching your home. That way they're able to speak to them, trigger alarms, or even request urgent police dispatch if needed. But something cool is that Simply Safe's AI tech actually identifies familiar faces and alerts agents to threats. This means that trusted visitors like your family, neighbors, or dog walker are not going to be triggered as false alarms. The outdoor camera was extremely easy to set up, and I love how this is just super functional. I'm able to just check it from my phone, which makes it convenient from anywhere around the world. So you can save 50% on your Simply Safe security system when you sign up for a select professional monitoring plan, and you can get your first month free. Just visit simplysafe.com/lonefox, linked below, to customize yours. There's no safe like Simply Safe. The first thing I want to do is grout these floors, so that way we can get to sealing them once the grout is all cured down. And if you're curious on the color of grout I selected, this is the Maypie grout in the color Cobblestone. And I'm so happy that so many of you guys actually recommended I do a darker grout color, because in my head I was like, oh, I'm just gonna do like a cream tone or ivory or something like that. And so many people were like, it's just gonna get dirty quick, which is very true. And I went in with this Cobblestone color, which I think is perfect because it is definitely like a darker tone of gray, and I think it contrasts with the tile perfectly, like not too contrasty, but also enough to kind of stand out as well. And the grout process was super seamless. We actually ran out of grout almost towards the end, so I had to run to the store and get some, and Justin ended up wiping off the top coat. So you basically kind of let it sit for about 30 minutes, go in with a sponge, and then wipe away all of the residue, as Charlie would say. And we're just gonna wipe all of that off. And the following morning, I went in with this grout haze remover, which basically just removes any kind of chalkiness or just extra grout on top of the surface. You can sort of see how there's like this muddy appearance to that white. It's kind of like a gray haze, and this grout haze remover removes that. I actually found this process of trying to clean off all of this harder than actually grouting the tile, but once I got it all cleaned, it has been looking stunning ever since. So it's just removing the grout that you need to make sure you get all of that off. A spot that has seemed so out of place as I've been making this over is the spot where the refrigerator goes. And as you guys know, we have the main kitchen upstairs. This is the second kitchen downstairs that's kind of gonna act a little bit more as the cafe, ladderay, aesthetic that I was sharing with you guys, and it's also right off the movie room, so I want to be able to have snacks in here. It's kind of more of a casual kitchen, as I mentioned. And so this is where the fridge used to go. However, this is only 15 inches deep, and a standard fridge is at least like 28 to 30 inches deep. So in all aspects, it's gonna stick out far, and we don't really need a full-on refrigerator down here. So for the time being, I'm actually going to enclose this section off by adding a panel on the right, which still will allow a fridge to go in here. It always should have a panel right here. I don't know where it went. The width of a standard fridge will always fit in here even with the panel. However, there is not one, so I want to add the panel back. And I actually think I'm going to add a shelf and then like maybe a cafe curtain underneath and turn this into something, and maybe do like a light here. I think that will make it feel a little bit more intentional, and I have ideas for that. And then of course in the future, if I go to sell my home or whatever it is, I want to rent out the bottom unit, just whatever it is, this can always easily be converted back into a spot for a fridge. We don't need a fridge. We've had one down here for years and there was never a piece of food ever put in it. So yeah, I feel like we are going to turn this into something a little bit more functional. Before coming outside, I marked the measurements that I wanted to create for my panel that I am cutting down, and I got this piece of melamine at the hardware store. And I always use painter's tape whenever I use my circular saw. I just find it easier to follow the painter's tape line. So I painter's taped on the size of board I want to cut, and then I just circular sawed that out, and I actually did a pretty decent job with this cut. You're gonna see in approximately 3, 2, 1. I think I did a pretty good cut, honestly. Like, it's pretty pressured in there, and I think if I can pick it. First, we're gonna pocket hole the edge of this, so that way we could screw it into the ground, and the top too. I pocket hold the top, the back, and then also the bottom here. Let's see if we can drill through this.
That went into something.
That's mounted!
Mounted!
Yeah, oh my gosh, that's perfect. All right, so I just cut a 1/4 inch off of this somehow with a circular saw. It was a little jagged, but then I was able to sand it, so I think we're good. And we are gonna put this on the front face, so that way it kind of matches this down. And then once it's all painted in, it's gonna look like this was always here. Should we see how our shelf fits? Ooh! I think that couldn't be more of a snug fit. Cool. Now we need to just drill some holes. A link below the pocket hole jig that I use because I actually absolutely love it, and it's super easy, and I just pocket hold the left and right side and the back side of this shelf so that way I can screw it in to our left and right and back panels. And this could always be removed in the future, of course, and then we are going to be filling all the cracks and crevices with Bondo and wood filler as well. Hello everyone, it is a new day, and Justin and I just went on a long trek and carried a range in the house from his truck, so hence me being out of breath at the moment. And I'm so excited to share with you guys the range I found on Facebook Marketplace. And so many of you guys were like, you know what, you don't need a range if you don't plan on cooking down here. But I will say that I don't want to eliminate a range in this space or kind of design without having a range in mind, because I am adding some other features that are more permanent that need to sort of fit around a range. I've already took out the possibility of a fridge, as you can see. But the thing is when I move out, or if I ever list my home, this could just pop right out and a fridge could slide right in. So we are going to bring in the one I found, and you guys might recognize it because it's very similar to my upstairs one. And these ranges are super pricey, but you guys, I found this for probably 60% off retail on Facebook Marketplace, and it is definitely a used range, but we can clean it up. And the lady, it's so funny, she actually shared with me the range she got in her home when we got to her house. She's so cute, by the way, and her son was so cute. So if you're watching this, hello, and thank you for the range. She wanted to actually go more vintage in her kitchen, so she added an older range in her more modern kitchen, and I want to add a more modern range in what is more of a vintage style kitchen. So we kind of swapped. Let's do it. Incoming. Can you see? Can you guys see? Why does this already feel like it looks good?
Because it does.
Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Wow. The color is so good.
Yeah. It's the exact same color as the floor tile.
Look how perfect the range looks. I wish this was not as messy as it was, so you can really appreciate this. And also, this will be removed shortly, don't worry, but the range looks incredible. I also am obsessed with mixing metals, as you guys know. So the top of this already features silver in it, which kind of goes organically back to the handle color. And then we have this brass edition, and this is actually a matte black Ilvi range, a 30-inch. And this all here is just paint from her former cabinets. I was like hoping that it wasn't scraped or scuffed, so we can definitely get all of this off. As you can see, it pretty much comes off. So gonna give this a good cleaning. This is exactly what the space needed. Like, I didn't want to go full on vintage stove and have this be more of a period piece, like retro design. I have a large drawer dresser in my storage room that's been full packed of like craft supplies and art supplies for really 2 years. And I have an idea because it's square shaped. Like, look at this. This is one of the drawers. I'm kind of thinking, like, what if we potentially use this as like the counter and cut it down? So we're gonna bring in the frame right now. That's exactly where we need to cut it, like right there. Okay. Could you give me another one for this side? And one of the knobs is broken on one of the drawers, so we can salvage from our drawer that we're not gonna use anymore and put it on the broken knob. Will I be cutting this indoors? Yes, I will. Will I be cutting it right here in the kitchen? Yes, I will. Okay. Look how cute this looks. It's like a little built-in cabinet right next to the stove. For all your utensils. Oh, the little keyhole. Well, hello everybody, looking a bit more put together. I was editing the first few days of this video and I was like, what? Why do I look so like that? Today is an exciting day, but I am solo today, so we are gonna see how this goes. We're gonna work on this together. The dresser's also here. It looks so good. I will say at the moment, it kind of does look like a dresser next to a stove. But don't worry, because I'm gonna be adding like a towel bar on the side here, adding a towel. We're gonna be styling it a little bit, adding the shelving, which is gonna coordinate back to the wood. I think it's gonna make it feel a lot more built in the end. I did mention that we ordered the matching polished nickel hardware for the shelves, and look how stunning this is. So it's actually the longer side that's gonna hold the shelf. We got the 10-inch bracket, and I'm also gonna make sure to kind of do it a little higher. I'm thinking here for around the first shelf. Yesterday I checked and all the tile lines are completely level, which is so good because I can use them as my guides for hanging the shelves. And I have 3 brackets per shelf. Let's get started and hang up these shelves. For my shelves, I ended up picking up 2 pieces of premium wood from the hardware store, and these were 11 inches deep and just like a traditional 3/4 inch height. And I marked the length I wanted my shelf to be, and then I rounded the corner of the front corner because it's kind of going to be jutting out, and I thought rounding it would soften it a little bit. And then I'm going to go in with my brackets, and I'm using 3 brackets per shelf, and I wasn't sure if at first I wanted to do 1 shelf or if I wanted to do 2, but I did get enough materials for 2 shelves. So I started with my first, and oh my gosh, I created this little like hammock out of a paper towel and tape, and it collected all of the dust from the tile drilling because there's so much of it. And as you can see here, I'm drilling through the tile. I actually got a specialty tile bit from the hardware store, which made it extremely easy. That was actually not that bad. It took me like 8 minutes to drill 9 holes. And now we're going to add the anchors and the screws and brackets. Are so thoroughly mounted to this tile wall, which makes me so happy because I feel like I can put so much on top of the shelves. And I did bring my shelf outside so that I could cut out the shape. I just used a jigsaw to cut that out, and I did not cut the first one very good, I'm not gonna lie, but I just went with my electric sander and really evened out that edge and made sure everything was nice and smooth. This can really work wonders and take down like a bad cut quite a bit, so don't worry, as long as you have a sander, you're good to go. The light colored shelf too is quite pretty with like the tile and the silver, and this looks so good. I was so happy with how this was looking, but I do know that I'm going to be staining them darker because I wanted to tie in with our bamboo shades and with the dresser that we added to the side. So I added a second shelf and I cut this one down as well. And at this point I was getting beyond excited because both shelves were level, they were extremely sturdy, and I was picturing it with everything on it. So I brought the shelves outside and stained them the color Honey by Minwax. I never hear people talk about this stain color, but it's one of my absolute favorites and it's one I opt for all the time. I applied the stain first with a brush just to make sure that every little piece was coated, and then I went in with a paper towel just to wipe off any of that extra and let it dry down. I think that this color actually looks really good. I might do a strip of edge banding across the front, like around the sides, because as you can see, the cut edge, it does stain a little darker. I need to stain this more. It's like very splotchy right here, but I don't really mind the darker edge. I also want to give a huge shout out again to Rejuvenation for gifting me these brackets. They are so beyond gorgeous, and anything Rejuvenation hardware just makes your kitchen feel so luxe. This is looking so good. This is exactly how I picture it looking. Like, look at how sturdy these shelves are as well. They installed so seamlessly. I had no problems at all, which is great. And the hardware contrasting with the darker stain tone matching our dresser, it just looks so good. And I brought in like this random little vase with some faux pears in it, get an idea for what some little additions could look like, maybe like a piece of art over here. And I actually originally was gonna mount the first shelf a little lower, like one tile lower, but I thought it could impede with like cooking, and I feel like this is a little bit more out of the way. It can let steam escape still, and it just feels actually really good. I mounted the two shelves a little closer because I'm picturing like glassware, plates, things you kind of want to access above you here. And then on the top shelf could be more like storage or canisters or decor or things you're not reaching as much just to kind of style with. Last week, Justin and I actually stopped by Pearson Ward because we were in the area, and I knew I was going to be putting the shelves up, and they have a lot of really cute home goods that are like smaller and glassware and things like that. So if you're up in LA, stop by Pearson Ward. Tell them I said hello, and yeah, I want to share with you guys what I got. So I just bought a few things. I got these tourist glasses, and I thought those would just be really pretty on the shelf, add a little pattern. And I think I got 4 of these. I've been waiting to open these bags for like actually 2 weeks now. Oh, I thought these were so cute. Little twisted tapers in like red. They have these hand-painted tapers by this local LA artist, and I thought this color was perfect for the kitchen. I mean, I'm sure you can see why. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this. This is so cute. I got this little enameled bowl set with a little metal mixing bowl set. And the last thing I got was this little glass jar in the ideal shade of the kitchen with the little striped glass lid and the ball. It is so cute. I don't know what you would store in there, but you know what? It's just so good. This is gonna be so cute once it's all styled out. I think a piece of art can be so nice, maybe above the stove. But before I get ahead of myself, I am going to complete today's video here. This is part 3 of the kitchen makeover, and there's only gonna be one more part, which I'm hoping is gonna be live next Sunday. We are waiting on a little bit more of the hardware to arrive and also the faucet to arrive, so that's kind of like determining the live date of the content. And a few more little accents, tweaks, and touches in this space, something with the glass door over here. Now that our refrigerator spot is all filled and dried, it took a couple days for us to kind of fill all the holes, let them dry down, sand them, and then fill over the top, sand it down, and do the same process until it's nice and smooth. And now it's ready to be painted and turned into our little coffee bar / snack bar area. I also do think I'm gonna add like some hooks here that I can add pots to, just to kind of merge these two sections together. I feel like they are a little far apart, but I think that's really gonna add a nice impact and also like a utilitarian aspect. And make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you do not miss the reveal of this kitchen, because I really think it's going to be incredible. Got to put some runners down, we gotta style up the space, get the rest of the hardware in. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe we're almost done, so I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye!